Your mama's so fat, she was baptized at SeaWorld.
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Yet one more week where I feel like I'm in middle school. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another wasted hour. This hour, unfortunately, you were hoping that maybe you'd be getting stock tips or we'd learn maybe something about history or nature or science, but nope. It will be replaced with two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture. As impossible as that may seem. So, listeners, now that you know why you're here, I'm Keith, and 13 miles away from me is my co-host, Victor. Victor, why the hell are you here this week?
So, I was really irked earlier this week.
I can tell.
Yeah, I've been thinking about, like, the little things here and there that we all just kind of put up with and accept as realities.
Like you?
Yeah, I'm not that little. I'm more like medium size.
All right, that's fair. You're very slight, though.
Yeah, sure. Let me turn sideways for you.
Where'd you go? Where are you? I can't even see you right now.
And he's back. Ooh.
You're like a magician.
This week, what got me was some small print. Small print wasted literally 45 minutes of my day.
Was it because you couldn't read it? Because it was too small?
It was too small. No, I pulled in the grocery store, and there was this big sign that said, flu shots at no cost. And I was like,
great.
Yeah.
Score.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it costs
I'll
no money.
take 5 of them.
I'll take one to go, please.
Right.
So I walked in. I went to the pharmacy. I was like, hey, I'd like a flu shot, please. And they're like, cool. Can we see your insurance card? And I was like, why do you need my insurance card? Whatever. It's probably just a formality. Here you go. My insurance card. Here's my ID. I have been here before, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, sit down. Can you fill out this form? And it was like, you're not allergic to anything that's in the shot, blah, blah,
specifically
blah.
Flu shots.
You're
just one big check mark that says, are you allergic to flu shots? No. Cool. Basically. Nailed it.
And then they gave me this like information form, which was like, you understand that receiving a flu shot, blah, blah, blah. If you have these conditions, yada, 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 you should not. If you're pregnant or nursing, blah, blah, blah.
You are pregnant. I know you're having a kid here soon.
I'm on teen pregnancy, but I'm not actually carrying the ball.
Yeah. Very little lactation.
But, I confirmed that I understood all this shit. And then they were like, all right, it'll take us about 20 minutes. Okay. Cool. So I sat down, and it had been about 15 minutes at that point, waiting in line, getting to the front, doing all that. And then they come up and they tell me, they're like, hey, your insurance won't cover this. I'm like, it's free. The sign said it comes at no cost. And I looked at the sign, and there's an asterisk at no cost. And at the bottom, barely legible, it says, with most insurances. I was like, motherfucker, you just cost me 45 minutes of my life.
Oh, no.
And I was like, you know what? I don't even want your stupid shot. I'm not even going to pay for it. You know what? I'm gone.
Asterisks are the worst. Because asterisk allows you to basically say anything, then put an asterisk and say, like, not that thing.
It's like saying no offense before anything.
Right. Yeah. Like, no offense, but you're really fat and ugly. Asterisks, I really mean that. I'm
glad you said with no offense or with all due respect.
Yes.
Suck at everything and I hate you.
Exactly. I don't think you should have asterisks. You should just say it right the first time. Like, hey, free flu shot.
No insurance, most insurances.
It's so easy to solve that, right? Because all you have to do is just add the word probably in front of it, right?
Probably.
Yes. Probably free flu shot. What do you mean by probably? Well, does your insurance cover it? No. Then not so probably for you.
Right. It was really annoying.
Yeah, but then they rope you in. You're like, free? I love free.
And at that point, I had been waiting. Had I not been as dumb and stubborn as I am,
sure,
I'd have been like, fine, I guess I'll pay for it. I'm already here and already signed all that. I was like, fuck you guys. And then I rolled.
See, I don't get the flu shot, but I just like to pretend it's like X Games. Right? Like that I'm an extreme like sports person and I'm like, I'm just going at it. I don't even need a flu shot. I'm going to dodge flu. I think it's like, yeah, it's way more impressive.
It's like those old GTA commercials for Liberty City Survivor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Go.
if they're like jumping ramps and breaking legs, and people are like, "Oh, they're so brave," and I'm like, "I never didn't get a flu shot." Look at me, woo! I'm living on the edge.
Everybody knows that's how the zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse begins. With flu shots,
the zombie apocalypse seems so much more friendly. Oh, look at the zombies! Come on over, zombies.
They're like minions, but zombies.
Yeah. Do you want a marshmallow? Oh, zombies are so adorable.
He just wants a sandwich. Anyway, so why are you here this week, Keith?
Hockey!
Oh, yeah.
We have hockey back in town. Well, in the entire world, there's now hockey. But the NHL has started up. I know that you do not care about any type of sports balls or anything, but this is super exciting. Hockey is so much fun because it's better than all the other sports, just flat out. Other sports, they can be quite good, but these are very large men who are running into each other at high speed with blades strapped to their feet. It's the best thing possible. And they'll like lose a limb and then go back out for the next shift. They're amazing, right?
Teeth don't count as limbs, Keith.
They don't. Yeah, well, it's kind of a limb. And so here's the interesting thing. So we're off to a rip-roaring start as well. So even if you're not a hockey fan, you may have already heard of a guy named Alex Ovechkin. He's kind of universally known now in the DC area and maybe a little bit further out in the country there. He is a hockey player for the Washington Capitals. He is a generational talent when it comes to scoring goals. Let me just explain a point to support that particular claim, I should say. So Alex Ovechkin scored a hat trick in his first game of the season. That's not super impressive, but hat tricks are fairly rare. I mean, people don't tend to have, dozens of them a season or anything like that, at least not in today's league.
3 in a game, right? 3 in one game?
Right. That's yet to have happened. However, so he scored that in the last period of the first game. The first period of the second game, he scored another hat trick in consecutive games. Now, here's how that's impressive. So that is not the first time that has happened. However, the last time that it did happen was the first season of the NHL. That was 100 years ago.
When they didn't know how to play yet.
Right, when they were like, my theory is that the goaltending was really bad back then because they just started the NHL and essentially the goalie was just the slowest guy. Like there was nobody who wanted to be goalie.
The fluffiest player.
Yeah. Well, because back then they didn't have helmets and stuff, right? So people are like shooting at you and you don't have a helmet on. You're like, I don't think I want that job because it's probably pretty short-lived. But I'm guessing they had to be like, so I don't know how to break this to you, Stan, but we're not going to need you on the team this year. And he's like, oh, but I wanted to play. What can I do? And they're like, oh, would you be willing to be goalie? And he's like, oh, if I have to. And that is the first season of the NHL. And so everybody, I think one of the guys that got the 2 hat tricks 100 years ago went on to score like 42 goals in 20 games.
That's like nobody knows how to play defense. Everyone's out of position. It's just like, no, we're getting it down, but not yet.
That means like mid-season they had to be like, Stan, okay, all right, I'll explain this again. Goalie, although it feels like it, isn't dodgeball. Like he's like, they've missed me every time. I'm doing so good.
42 times.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stan.
So 100 years ago. In fact, as of this point, granted we record before we release, so this stat may not hold up. But as of the moment that we're speaking, Ovi has scored 9 goals, which is more goals than 8 other teams in the NHL.
Holy shit.
Yes. There are 8 teams who have not scored more than 8 goals. He has scored 9 by himself.
Has anybody else for the Cap scored?
Oh, yeah. Oh, right now we have like.
So he's got to more than just set him up.
Yeah, we have 3 players.
He's got to set him up too.
I think we have 3 players in like the top 10 for points right now. It's pretty ridiculous. There's like 3 guys who have like 10 points.
Isn't our goalie like super ridiculously awesome too?
Yeah, Holtby's supposed to be very, very good. He's started the season a little iffy, but I think that's mainly due to defense than him. But we'll see. It's shaping up to be an interesting season, so we'll see how it turns out. We have a few injuries already. We'll figure that out, though. So hockey, yay!
Yay!
Which brings us to the main point of our entire show. This week we're supposed to have a band in called The Raw. Unfortunately, they were not able to join us this week. So instead, we're going to kind of go mano a mano, you and me, Victor, if you're willing
I'm
to
good
do
with
that. We'll just do a show, you and I, since we don't have what? Who's that? Who the hell? What's that?
I'll do it.
Wait, is that Engineer Adam?
I'll be on the show.
Okay. Well, we need somebody from The Raw on the show.
I'm in the Raw.
You're in The Raw.
As far as you know.
Well, that's fair. That's actually that's really legitimate. All right. Well,
did he really just walk in?
Yeah, he just came in.
Engineer Adam.
Everybody, welcome to the show. Engineer Adam, apparently the latest member of The Raw.
Thank you very
much. Have a microphone, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, great to have you back. Haven't had you on the show in a while.
It's ever since my goodbye show.
Yeah.
Back in, before August sometime. Yeah, I don't remember.
Sometime between when you were here and then you left is when we had the goodbye show.
And then that one time that you were here, you still weren't here. So
yeah, we have heard you shouting on the show from time to time.
The magic of post.
Yes. So you're actually a member of The Raw.
As far as anyone is concerned, yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm absolutely a member of The Raw.
Absolutely a member of The Raw. Do they know this?
The show comes out on Tuesdays now, right?
Yeah.
On Tuesday, they'll know that I'm a member of The Raw.
That's all right. Excellent. So I'm glad to have you back. Yeah. What's that?
What do you do in The Raw? What do you play?
I play the Argentinian dulcimer.
That's a
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that must be very difficult.
Do you know what a dulcimer is?
Yeah, that's a type of pudding, right? Isn't that
exactly?
Yeah,
I'm from Argentina.
That's the harness that they put on dolphins when you want to ride them and train them.
Okay, is that what that is? Yeah,
yes.
I was way wrong on that.
Since there are dolphins in Argentina, it's an Argentinian dolphiner.
Yep. That makes
Perfect.
so much
sense. You got
sense.
it.
Yeah, no.
I think it's also a type of cloud. Is that right? There's like Nimbus and
Cirrus, Cunnilingus, something I don't remember.
Dulcimer.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think that's all of them. So fucking love clouds.
Sorry, I'm just watching Victor lose it all again.
All right, so without further ado, I think that means, speaking of clouds, it is time for the weather report.
Cunnilingus clouds, I'm never gonna get over it.
They look like bunnies.
Oh, wow.
Visual humor on this podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the weather report.
That was the long one, and you missed it. All right.
Oh, I'm crying.
You know what? We're not even doing this. Adam, you know how the weather report works. We are not going to tell Engineer Adam how he participates. And
I'm just going to edit it to be whatever I want it to be anyways later.
Exactly. So. All right, so.
I'm going to open her up here. Let's see. I've got.
Open her up and give her a cloud.
Oh, wow. I'm in tears over here. So, upon my happenings on the internet, I discovered a new anti-sexism power tool.
Power tool. Excellent.
Okay.
Nuclear powered.
Yeah.
What? Let's see.
This has gone a different direction. I need you to speak in full sentences because we're getting a little bit at a time, and it feels. I'm like anti-sex, okay. Tool. Oh, all right. Nuclear.
There we go.
Like what?
Anti-sexism.
Sexism.
Anti-sexism tool. So women invents genius the rock test for men who are confused about sexual harassment.
Okay.
Basically,
she throws a rock at them.
She throws a rock at them. No. If you need you have like a hot coworker who comes up to you and she wants to, can we get together maybe early tomorrow or after hours tomorrow, whatever, we can discuss the project. And you're like, oh shit, this girl wants me. Does she?
Yeah.
She's very attractive, which is probably a fairly loud sign that she's not into you.
Yeah.
So how do you get around it? You pretend that she is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and you treat her as such.
Okay.
And apparently, it's ever since she told her friends about this and blogged about it, she has gotten a lot more respect from her coworkers. I'm like, solid.
Yeah.
So the next time a hot girl comes up to you and is like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
do you know what time it is? Remember, this is not the beginning of a porno. You're not going to go to your best friend's house, change her tire, and bang, because that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson you're talking to. and you're probably going to be on the receiving end.
So when a woman comes up and says, I'd really like to talk to you about putting your assets in my cunnilingus cloud, I would think this is Dwayne the Rock Johnson. And then my next thought immediately would be, I'm totally fucking The Rock.
I've always wanted to sleep with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh my God, this is going to be awesome. I'm telling everyone that I'm having oral sex with The Rock.
Oh my gosh. But if you really think about it, like if you really use the tool as it should be used, this could clear up a whole lot of problems.
That's true.
Like cat calling and all that bullshit.
Would you
like to cat call, but be like brutally honest. Be like, your dress is delightful and I'm not confident enough to talk to you in person.
Right. You seem very intelligent.
The Bourne Identity was a good movie.
Oh God. Why are you trying to offend people?
This is not the first time he said that. I'm just going to start editing that out of all the podcasts from now on.
So what I'm hearing is that you would not accept a blowjob from The Rock.
I'm pretty sure he would make me give him one.
No, but if he said, I would like to give you a blowjob, would you accept a blowjob from The Rock?
Blowy's a blowy.
That's what I'm saying.
The Rock?
His
20 bucks is 20 bucks.
Yeah.
All right. So
as long as he sings You're Welcome from Moana afterwards.
So we know it makes us a little slightly gay as we think of our female coworkers as The Rock, but is it news?
Right now, I'm going to say no. But it will be news when someone accidentally uses this on Dwayne The Rock Johnson's stalker and things just go downhill.
Like, I fucking love him. I'm going to have sex with all my coworkers.
That's when it will be news.
Yes.
All right.
Probably does that already.
So not news as we speak right now, unfortunately. All right. I'm up next. This one is a little disturbing. I'm just going to jump into it. A Minnesota man lives with bodies of mom and brother for a year.
I can't stand my family now. And they got a smell too?
No, but they won't talk. So
valid.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, hey, will you clean your room? That's gone.
You get to have all that quality family time.
Yeah. They're the thing making the room dirty. So
fair enough.
It's their fault. Here's the thing that I think makes this even better though. And that is these quotes. Here's a quote that I'd like to share from Robert James Kuffler. In a phone interview, he said, I'm not some nutball. People think I am, but I'm not. I loved them. That's not the reason we think you're a nutball. Yeah. It was not the love part.
Yeah.
It was the not putting them out with the trash part. That was the... So Robert from Minnesota is living with his brother and mother until they died of natural causes in 2015, several months apart. A few months after their deaths, Robert informed his other families, not of their deaths, but the fact that they were ill and not taking calls or visits.
Wait, so you said they died months apart?
Yeah.
So there was a time where two of them were living with a dead body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one died, and he was like, I don't want to ruin a good thing.
Yeah, or was it the one who ended up dying second? That was his idea to live with the dead one. He's like, well, I've been doing it already.
Right.
I don't want to disrespect his wishes.
That's true. Right.
They were both bedridden. Like he didn't even know she died. He just propped mom around like a puppet and walked her into the room.
Right.
Oh, honey, how are you feeling today? Wow, this fever dream is intense,
Right. Oh, the second one didn't know, you think?
Yeah, I didn't.
They're like, how's mom doing? I don't know. Let me go check on her. Yeah, she seems to be doing good.
And Weekend at Bernie's got dark.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I like the fact that a few months, one of them died. A few months later, one dies, a few months goes by, another one dies, a few months goes by, and then he reaches out to the family and goes, you probably shouldn't call. Like, it's been like 4 months where nobody apparently came and visited and knew that one of them had died already.
Don't worry about it.
The bodies were not found until September 2016 when the neighbors reported an overgrown lawn and lack of activity in the home. So,
yeah, mom's slacking. She's not mowing that lawn.
I know. This is his response. I was traumatized, Robert said to the Associated Press on Saturday. What would you do? I'm like, I would call the people that take dead bodies away.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or finally put that meat dehydrator to use.
Right, that's true.
Bought it to make jerky, never did it.
Right.
Now's my time to shine.
Do I have propane in this grill? I do. So
No, wait a minute.
what?
You're in a new band. You should eat them raw.
Oh,
I see what you did there.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
After your namesake.
There you go.
All right, so it is the worst party you could possibly throw. But is it news?
Nah, I'm gonna have to go with not news.
Not people living with dead people, not news. All right,
Happens all the time.
I'm taking your word for it. He currently is living with dead people, just so you know.
Car factory shut down for 36 hours due to invading leopard. India's largest auto manufacturing
Let me just also
plant.
interrupt to say I'm glad there was a D at the end of that word.
Leopard?
Yeah.
Right. Watch the assembly line.
This almost got way crazier than I thought it was going to be. But go back to the leopard.
Maybe he had leprosy.
It's a leopard.
The leopard wandered onto the premises and continually evaded capture attempts. They had 100 forest officers searching for this giant fucking cat on a 600-acre campus. And it took them a day and a half to find it. That's how good these creatures are at hunting and hiding. And I'm wondering how many people actually died in the making of this video.
I was about to say, I wonder when Asylum is going to come out with this movie.
Right. My understanding is they ended up actually capturing the leopard finally by just throwing a giant ball of yarn out.
And it came out like,
so that's the most adorable leopard.
That's got to be the most annoying thing ever. Be like, I can't open my fucking plant because there's a cat in it.
What do you know what car company it was?
No, it doesn't say, actually. I'm pretty sure they didn't say on purpose.
Was it a Jaguar? What? We're just making cougars in here. All right, so
it's a pretty annoying inconvenience when I consider that I live with 2 cats.
Yes.
And sometimes I am trying to walk and I almost step on them. They don't try to kill me.
Yeah, that's true. They do not murder you. So what we've learned is that assembly line workers are apparently catnip for wild animals. But is it news?
I will go with yes, because now I guarantee you somebody is going to get a new car with a giant hairball in it. And they need to know where that came from.
That's true. The paint's all ruined. All right.
He's the upholstery all clawed up. What is this garbage?
This is maybe my favorite news article of the entire show. During the protests in St. Louis last month, some unknown chemicals were confiscated after they were used against police. I know this sounds scary, but hold on. The chemical was apple cider vinegar, which is commonly used to protect against the effects of pepper spray.
Okay.
The first clue that this was apple cider vinegar is that the bottles were labeled apple cider vinegar.
Seems compelling. Compelling evidence,
yeah. The second clue, I assume, was when investigators mixed the unknown chemical with baking soda to make a super neat volcano. That's
Yep.
But yeah, so St. Louis County Police at this point now, after a month, have finally admitted that the apple cider vinegar is apple cider vinegar.
You said people were like, what, throwing this at the cops or something? Or
I believe they were using it to prevent tear gas or from affecting them. So they're pouring it on themselves.
Just dumping on their own faces, and the police took interest.
But they saw like bottles of this unknown chemical laying around the streets, and so they confiscated it.
I see what happened now. Okay.
They finally figured out that the name on the bottle was what was in the bottle.
Yeah.
Solid.
1 month. So there you go.
Good police work. Good police work.
Yeah, that's the police work in St. Louis. It's going to sting a little, but is it news?
I am going to give this one news.
Yeah.
Just because I'm always happy to hear how my tax dollars are just being wasted on
Yeah.
pointless and frivolous things.
Well, Engineer Adam, considering your diet, this is going to be your favorite article.
All right.
McDonald's is launching a vegan burger, and it could be big. Yeah, it's a soy-based burger, although the precise ingredients of which currently remain unknown.
Is there love in it?
There's, I don't know, but you'll be loving it.
Last week we heard that some things have love in them, and
that is not an actual food.
I'm wondering if this has love in it.
As stated by the FDA.
He said it was a vegan burger. There's no love going on anywhere.
No, but they're calling it the mixed vegan.
Contempt,
Right?
sadness,
Pride.
deep emotional pain.
Oh, jeez. All right, there's no need to exaggerate, but they're also looking into lab-grown meats, which apparently is a growing industry now, which I think is a pretty good idea because I like cows. I want to hang out with some cows, but then I want to eat the cow.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it. But vegan burger, Adam. The next time you go to McDonald's, good luck. You might be eating bullshit.
Nah.
Nah, it's probably real meat. Let's be real. It's real meat.
Here's the thing. I get what you're saying with the cows and pigs to a certain extent as well. If you've ever met a chicken, you would eat the shit out of it. They are assholes.
I don't know, man.
Have you
I
met
saw
a chicken
today who's cute?
They're ridiculous. We actually had chickens once, and they're just horrible. They would fight each other and poke each other's eyes out. They're just horrible things.
And you didn't monetize this for pay-per-view?
Right, that's true. Yeah, I could have had chicken fights. I think that's illegal in some countries, but
only if it's a male chicken.
So there's the next question: can we get lab-grown meat to fight?
I don't see why not.
Right.
I mean, we're now getting the giant robots that are going to fight next week.
Right.
So I figure that gets us one step away from just growing meat to fight each other.
I like it. All right. Is it news?
No.
No.
Because I don't want to give any more attention to vegans. They already call enough of it to themselves. They don't need any more.
So I'm assuming if I follow this up with a CrossFit story, I'm not going to get news either.
Do I look like a man who's interested in CrossFit? I look like a man who's interested in crossing more foods to try off of my list.
Right.
It's an atheist, a CrossFitter, and a vegan walk into a restaurant.
Yes.
Everybody knows because they told you within 30 seconds of being there.
Precisely.
Yeah, I never understand that either. I emote with them because they're like, I'm into CrossFit, and I'm like, I'm CrossFit being fit too. So it's so hard. So here's the thing. We've heard this coming up around the world. Even in America, we've heard this. Some people being concerned about people who wear burqas and that it hides their identities. I think in France, they've tried to do a ban on burqas and especially the head covering part of a burqa. In America, obviously, we keep fighting things like this, religious freedom and stuff. So hopefully we don't have to deal with it. But this is an interesting cautionary tale. So several countries in Europe have enacted bans on face coverings. Although the ban in Austria is phrased in a religious neutral way because you don't want to be like, we don't like Muslims, right? That
you don't want to offend anybody.
You don't want to be actually be called out as a bigot. You want to be sneaky about it. Yeah. So they go, it's not a burqa ban. You can't cover your face with things ever, right? Sometimes discussing xenophobia can have its consequences. However, for instance, the vague wording of this ban caused an issue recently with a young man helping to advertise a store when he was fined for wearing a shark suit that included a shark head over his face. So
shark rhymes with burqa.
Mm-hmm.
Starts with the same letter. Yeah,
the newspaper reported that officers acted after a member of the public reported the mascot. Police suspected the report came from someone who wished to prove a point about the new laws, which is pretty hilarious because if you have burqa laws where you're not allowed to have face coverings, and you don't say burqas specifically because pretty much legally that's really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
We're right around the corner from Halloween, and that's going to get awfully boring.
Oh no!
Right? It's like, I'm from the neck down a ghost.
Are they going to be? Are they going to be like arresting women at the altar for having like the veil over their face now? And
I mean, there's a lot of places where this could happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
they
NASCAR drivers
the
can't keep their
guy?
helmets on.
What's that? Would you say, Victor?
Did they arrest the shark guy?
They fined him for having a shark head on, despite that being a thing he needed for his job.
Wow. Well, then his job better fucking pay for it.
Yeah, you would think so. Not to mention the Mexican Wrestling Association is going to be just devastated by these rules.
Yeah, they're going to be mad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Austrian NASCAR circuit won't be able to recover.
Yeah. So
anybody on a motorcycle.
So the downside of trying to be xenophobic, sometimes you get caught up in it. Is it news?
Yes, because what we've actually learned is that Katy Perry could never take that halftime show over there.
No,
right.
That's true. You could never do that.
Or
all
Lady
right.
Gaga.
So that is it. I pulled ahead here at the last second, and it's 1-2. I get to win this week. It's 1 week that we did not tie. Woo! Rarely does that ever seem to happen. Also, what rarely seems to happen is us not having somebody show up to the show and sending a brand new member of their band. So tell us a little bit about the Raw here. Obviously, we don't have the other members here to tell us about it. My understanding is you guys have a show coming up here soon.
Yes, according to the piece of paper you wrote me, it is on Friday, October 20th. We're playing at the KaChunk Records in Annapolis.
Theater.
Oh yeah, KaChunk.
That's excellent. So that's where you're going to be making your debut with the Raw, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll be showing off my skills on the alto boomerang and
what was that?
The alto boomerang, the instrument I play in the band.
I thought you played a cloud. I was pretty certain you said that you played a dolphin.
No. This is the
harness for a dolphin.
No, it's alto boomerang.
I'm not familiar with the alto boomerang. What kind of instrument is that?
It's got a kind of a weird sound to it. It's like a wooden instrument.
Yeah.
And I used to have a really good way to describe it, but I forgot. But I'm sure it'll come back to me.
All right, fair enough. So we do have a clip that you guys sent us from the Raw. Can you tell us a little bit about this? You want to set up the clip?
So it's actually a very sad song.
Oh,
It's about a very difficult time.
Yeah.
We kept losing that one sock in the washing machine.
Oh, okay.
And then an anonymous tip came in after we'd been looking. We had like 12 disappear. And then we had an anonymous tip get called into the police, and we found them, and what was left of them. And
what had happened?
It's a little too graphic to talk, but abandoned alleyway somewhere, just pieces. So we had to write this song to get it kind of like off of our chest, and dedicate a memory to these lost socks.
I remember seeing this in the news. That's horrifying. Yeah, they were all stuck together in one big ball. So it's
with
good
a
that
leopard chasing them.
Yeah, it was good that there was an even amount, because that would have been awkward if it had just been 11, because then you would have had one extra.
And where did it come from? Who's missing that sock?
Right, exactly. All right, so this is a song. What's the name of the song?
Don't remember.
That's the name of it?
That is actually the name of it. Yes, I don't remember.
Don't remember the socks. All right, here is a song from the Raw called I Don't Remember.
Take my wicked heart for saving anything to help me to wake up. Just to wake up.
I like how you still haven't learned that visual gags don't work on the podcast, Victor.
Well, I'm trying to visualize how I can't hear the alto boomerang.
Yeah, I've noticed you said there alto boomerangs what you play at the Raw.
What's an alto boomerang?
I don't know, but it'll come back to me.
Oh, okay. No, it's actually.
No, that's what you said. That's the instrument you said you played.
Yeah. What?
Oh no, I play the double cajon.
Oh, the double cajon. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So, although I don't know if I heard that in. Was that in that clip? Is that one that has the double cajon in it?
Yeah, but it's real subtle. It's pulled way back. It's almost not even there.
Okay.
Almost like I made it up. So.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, just a memory of a.
I swear you said you played like some dolphin harness or something. Am I hearing wrong? Is there something wrong on Skype here?
Look, I know I'm like the new guy here and not the lead guy, but you could show me like a little bit of respect and actually listening.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Victor.
All right. Yeah,
Obviously,
right, my bad.
a dolphin boomerang isn't a real thing. So
yes, of course. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
My bad.
All right, so the double cajon, that's fascinating. So one more time, just so that people who are listening know, you guys are going to be playing Friday, October 20th at KaChunk Records in Annapolis, Maryland, right?
Correct.
And that's your debut on the double cajon there at the record store.
Correct.
All right, excellent. So without further ado, let's move on here to a little section we like to call This Week in History. This is usually where we tell you how this week in history works, but we're not going to because you edit this show. So you've heard it.
For those of you who don't know, listen to another episode.
Yeah.
So, in 1793, the yellow fever breaks out in Philadelphia. It hits day 100 on this date in 1793. By the time it ended, over 5,000 people were dead.
That's a lot of people.
Back then, oh yeah.
That's probably half
now,
the population.
oh yeah. Yellow fever, or the American plague as it was known at the time, is a viral disease that spreads through mosquitoes. People tend to become jaundiced, so their eyes turn yellow. That's why they call it the yellow fever. So it hit about this time. It's cooling down out there, and it obviously didn't stop until winter set in, killed off the mosquitoes. It was literally a scene in Philadelphia of bring out your dead, plink, people piling corpses, and it was the American plague. It was pretty serious.
Not
in
like
the capital of the United States.
That explains to you just how uncivilized it was back then, because in today's world, we would live with those people for several months.
Right.
Instead of dragging them out into the streets and putting them. Yeah.
Just please don't call.
Yeah.
Please don't call.
Yeah.
Don't call. Don't come by. That's horrifying, though. That's a lot of deaths for one city, and I would assume that the overall population of Philadelphia probably not that high at that time. I would maybe hundreds of thousands of people,
if that.
Yeah. Now it's millions, but unfortunately, if you were to get a vaccine for yellow fever, you could then possibly get autism, according to some people who have no science degrees. So,
but it would probably be free.
It would probably be free. Asterisk, it's not free.
Actually, my favorite is that the people who said that completely and utterly recanted that, no, it doesn't cause autism. We have no connection. We lied. And everybody's like, but yellow fever.
So, yeah, the good news is that what cures autism is yellow fever. So, eventually.
Yeah, cures most things in the long run.
Yeah, except for extreme cold. So what I have happens in 1911.
Quite the jump.
Happy Death Day.
Oh,
yeah, that.
Well, it's okay. We can keep him around for a little bit.
Yeah, that's no problem. We just a few months later. Good
Who
news.
is it?
This particular person would make you think of maybe being pre-pickled, so that's good. Jack Daniel, who was born in 1846, died this week in 1911. American whiskey maker, as you guys probably know, and also the reason why you don't feel good the next morning. According to legend, he died of blood poisoning from a wound incurred while kicking a safe because he had forgotten the combination. I assume because he was drunk.
He couldn't disinfect that wound.
Yeah, he had Jack Daniels everywhere.
And no one found this suspicious.
Right.
Right.
It's mine. I can kick it if I want to. Asterisk, it's not mine.
That's the small print.
Yes. So unfortunately he passed away, but he left us a bunch of alcohol for us to drink for years to come.
I wonder how much he made, because there's still a lot of that stuff left around.
There is.
I have some in my own house.
Yeah, it's amazing. He probably brought it. It came with the
Good.
house.
Right. Right. Kicked his way in.
Yeah, 1916. Georgia Tech, coached by John Heisman. You may have heard that name. Heisman, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Defeated Cumberland 222-0.
What?
Jesus.
Yeah. Which is the most lopsided score in the history of U.S. college football. Yep, that's I don't even
pretty much
know,
unbeatable, I would think.
I don't even know, like, at that point they had to have scored just every play, right? I mean, there's to get to that score.
There has to be, like, the other team had to get up and leave.
What was the score again?
222.
Trying to figure out what multiple of 7 that is, and I'm just not coming up with it.
That means they had to, like, kick a field goal or something at some point. Like, they were able to stop them once.
Or they just got, what would that be? 110 safeties.
That's also true. That might have also been the case, that it was just a touchdown and a safety every time.
Isn't there a, what do they call that? Like the slaughter rule?
Oh, yeah. What is that called? That's a mercy rule. Mercy
rule, slaughter rule.
That's it.
Yeah, and apparently they didn't have it back then.
As soon as you score 100 more points than your opponent, they have the right to, hey, we're going to the bar. You guys keep playing if you want. But
do you think the chairs changed, like, by, like, the second half? It was like 2, 4, 6, 8. They're already dead, for God's sake.
I like to think that eventually the entire audience left. Like, at 222, if it's like, well, 100 to nothing.
Yeah.
you know,
You're
losing
already
team
looking
is
at your watch
probably-
thinking, honey, the parking lot's about to get very busy. We should
Right.
we should get out of here.
No, I would
but
stay to the
The
end
losing
because
team fans
go to
probably
Fridays.
left, right?
But
The losing team fans are gone, but then after another 100 points, the winning team fans are probably like, I'm fucking done. I'm going home.
no, if I'm a Cumberland fan, I'm staying till the very end just in case I miss the greatest comeback of all time. Because if it's 223 to 222, and that happens in the fourth quarter, like you want to be there for that. Because you don't want to say like, oh, I left early.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
They didn't have enough fans cheering, so they only made it to 221 on that comeback. They didn't quite pull it off.
Right. Oh, they were so close. All right. So I also have in 1945, Billy Goat Cyanus, a tavern.
Stop cursing.
I don't know.
My guess was a blues singer.
He is a tavern owner, Billy Goat Cyanus. I think that's what it is. Sianis. Cyanus? Say anus?
Sure.
Say anus. Billy Goat Say Anus buys seat for his goat for Game 4 of the Baseball World Series. He's escorted out and cast the goat curse on the Chicago Cubs. This is the curse that followed the Chicago Cubs for decades, so they would not win a World Series until I think last year, right?
Wow.
Last year, or the
Last
year
year?
before that, yeah.
The year before that, was it?
I can't remember. It was either last year or the year before
I think
that.
it was last year.
Meaning it was probably more like 5 years ago because
you
I don't pay
care.
attention.
Right. No, I think it was last year. So from 1945 to 2016. That is
I
how
didn't
long
realize
it
there was so much juju in baseball. There's the goat curse, the
Yeah.
curse of the great Bambino. There's angels in the outfield. What else? Come on.
The DC curse, where they can't get past the second round of any playoff series ever. So there, yeah.
Who cursed them to do that?
I think it's just because the football team's name is racist. I think that's
Solid.
I think it's a Native American curse.
Thank you for not calling them American Indians.
Yeah.
I'm teaching fourth graders about Virginia history, and every single textbook says American Indians. I'm like, American Indians they're
I don't know.
people
I feel like if you're
with
trying
Indian
to make,
backgrounds, born in America, they're American Indians.
yeah, you should at least try and make an effort. Let's put it that way. I'll give you credit if you're trying to be nice. If you're just being blatantly an asshole, then it's like, I don't care if you use the right word. You're still an asshole. All right, what do you got for me?
Amerindian. All right. Anyway, on this date in 1987, Whitesnake's iconic video featuring leopards,
Ooh.
jaguars.
Inside of car factories.
Oh, yeah. So they decided that all of the leopards that were in the cars from that manufacturing plant, they were going to go ahead and, that's what they mean by jaguars.
Put those
right?
freeloaders to work.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They put dulcimers on them and rode them.
Yes.
Yeah, but it had Tawny Keaton,
Catane.
that one chick who's
Tawny
mostly
Katane.
silicone. Now she's like, I'm pretty sure she's a robot, but yeah, here I go again on my own. Happened on this date. Yeah.
Could you give us a little bit?
Here I go. No, I'm not doing it.
Quick on the double cajon.
I don't know if any of that got picked up
No, probably not.
because it was all bass notes and I have a shock mount. But for the audience at home, it was amazing.
It was epic, and it made my heart skip.
It
So
was
what
very
else you got?
Very visual. In 1991, a former postal worker commits mass murder. He decided he was sick of all of your shit.
Yes.
Actually, he got accused of stealing some money or something. I don't know. I read the article last week and I got tired of waiting for the raw. So anyway, this
Well,
guy
you're in
killed
luck. They're here today.
Yay! But he is the reason they now say that guy went postal.
Yes.
There's a whole game now. It's called Postal. Basically, you can run around doing whatever the fuck you want. You can grab a crowbar and beat people in the street, break cars, steal cars. It's basically Grand Theft Auto in greater detail.
Also, the source of a joke in a Naked Gun film,
That's true.
which I think is more important.
Oh, joy. What
So,
you got for us, Keith?
good. So 2003, grizzly man killed and eaten by bear. Yes, the American environmentalist.
Oh, yes, I remember this now. Yeah.
Yes, American environmentalist Timothy Treadwell, known as the Grizzly Man, and his girlfriend were killed and eaten by a bear while camping among them. He had lived among grizzly bears of the Katami National Park. Katana.
Nailed
the
it.
Clitoris National Park in Alaska for 13 summers. And he was the first. It was
so
the
that's
first.
where that is.
Yeah, it's hard to find.
Never been able to find it
yeah,
before.
this was the first fatal bear attack in the park's history. The film Grizzly Man in 2005 documents his work and death with bears. Also, among grizzlies living with wild bears in Alaska in 1997 was a book published about this as well. So that happened in 2003.
Nice.
Yes.
So let's see. In 2008,
Take us home.
Luke Kosterman sets a new world land speed record at 192 miles per hour.
What?
Was he on a mattress?
For blind people.
What?
He's a blind driver.
What the
He
hell?
borrowed a Lamborghini,
Yeah.
hopped on an airstrip,
Okay.
and fucking floored it. But I have to say, I think he cheated.
Yeah.
He had a not blind guy in the passenger seat telling him whether to go left or right, straighten out, whatever. So I think it's kind of bullshit. He has the record, yeah, but somebody was giving him the answers to the test, you know?
Oh, that's great, though. I'm really relieved because I was afraid he was dragging his dog.
Left or right, boy. Boom, boom, boom.
Bring him in from the sunroof. He's scared. So
Puppy.
that's a great way to get out of a ticket, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you
Sorry,
know-
I'm sorry. I did not see the speed limit sign.
Yes. You were going 192 miles an hour. Couldn't even see the speedometer, I'll be honest.
Nah, man. Car sounded great.
Also, I'm really hoping I didn't fuck up that callback to like episode 4 without the guy land speed record on a mattress or
Oh,
a
yeah,
bed
yeah.
frame or
It
something.
was a mattress. It was a bed frame.
Bed
Yeah,
frame.
bed
Okay,
frame.
good. So I was close.
And that was Ford. That was Henry Ford.
Oh yeah.
Interesting fact, this man actually set the world record in 2008, not only for land speed record, but also for not in a straight line.
Yeah.
It's hard to go 192 not in a straight line. He was very talented.
Yeah.
So
Determined.
excellent. That is This Week in History. That is absolutely everything that happened this week in history. No other things of any consequences occurred because we could not find them and they were not entertaining. So needless to say, engineer Adam and newest member of the Raw, could you tell us what the most historically impactful thing, at least in your opinion, was that occurred this week?
I'm gonna go with the fact that you forgot to put this down on a whiteboard so I could remember what everything was.
All right, we have Yellow Fever, Jack Daniels, Georgia Tech. We have Billy Goat, Cyanus.
Cyanus.
Yeah, White
The White
Snake,
Snake
Going
video.
Postal, Grizzly Man, and Blind Driver.
I'll go with
It's gonna go with
This
Blind
is
Driver.
such
because
good
that's the last
radio.
one he
Oh,
remembers.
I'm so glad we're doing
fuck
this
it.
right
We'll
now.
do it. White Snake.
All right.
All right.
Here I go again on my own.
We got some singing.
Yeah,
that was worth
exactly.
it.
That's why I did it because I know he couldn't resist.
Double
I just
Cajon
wish I had a
solo.
skateboard or something so I could jump off of some big ramp and then hit my face and loosen teeth and then be a hockey player. Anyway, moving on to what's more.
Hockey! All right.
Wait,
So,
if he gets to shout that 3 times in a podcast, is that what he means by hat trick?
that's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That is also exactly how it works. Or if you have sex 3 times with The Rock. So it's
That's a
also
rock trick.
a hat trick and you lose your penis. So interesting fact. A lot of people don't know that. He will squeeze it off with his asshole. So
But
anyhow,
isn't that how sex works anyways? You stick it in, break it off, make them yours forever?
is that how that works?
That's what I was told.
I didn't know that.
I think that's oddly reminiscent of the praying mantis.
Yeah.
You rip off your head.
I'm afraid to see what happens on Adam's dates. So
Well, thus far, he seems to be playing those Kojones just fine. So.
yes, yeah. Did you spike my drink? Did you put something in my drink? It was my penis. I broke it off in your drink.
That's why it tastes like The Rock's asshole.
All right. So we have reached a point where we get to learn more about the latest member of the Raw, engineer Adam. So this is a little section we like to call Near and Far.
Near. Go far again. Far. See, that's what it's all about. I understand.
I also feel a need to point out that, yes, I edit the show, but I absolutely did not edit that thing so you can't sue me.
That's true. No, he did not do that. Actually, that was given to us by the Raw. So, anyhow,
Wait, that doesn't work because Adam is now a member of the Raw.
Damn
right.
it!
This is before he was. He just joined. It's like you're not even listening.
Sorry,
What we do in this section is we're going to get 2 stories from you, preferably kind of about your activities with the band and your life as a musician. One that is close to home, near. One that is far out in your adventures and stuff, maybe with the band. So let's start with near. Do you have something for us with near, perhaps?
I guess like the first thing that comes to mind was last month when I got to actually try out for the Raw.
Okay. Yeah.
On synthesizer.
Yeah.
And started. Yes.
Yeah.
You have a question.
I'm sorry. This is crazy. It's been an hour, and I'm probably a little thirsty. A synthesizer. I assume the double cajon is a type of synthesizer. A lot of people don't know music who are listening to the show, so just want to clarify.
Double cajon's not a thing.
It's I assume 2 cajons.
I guess it's sorry, but then it'd just be 2 cajons, not a double cajon.
Well, maybe.
So what is a double cajon?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about with a double cajon? That's not a real thing.
I assume
I play
You said
synthesizer.
you played the double cajon.
No, I play synthesizer.
2 pedals. I assume that. hit
That
a
doesn't even
cajon.
rhyme.
I don't even.
It doesn't even start with the same letter. How do you get those confused?
Wait,
I mean, I think the problem is that he is over Skype, so my
He's over
words might be
Skype.
getting garbled.
oh, okay.
Get across
yeah.
there, so
No, that makes sense. Okay. So,
Whatever. The synthesizer. Tell us about
so
the
you
synthesizer.
so you play synthesizer with the Raw.
yeah. So I
Okay.
went in with my mandolin and played a few tracks for them.
I'm gonna stop you real quick.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
It was a mandolin synthesizer. I assume that you were
no,
playing.
just a mandolin.
So you
Okay,
play
got it.
double cajon synthesizer mandolin.
Double cajon's still not a thing.
Oh, all right. So where
So-
does the boomerang come in to
Right.
the discussion?
Wait, you mean the thing that Austrians use to hunt kangaroo?
No. The alto one.
Australians, not Austrian.
Whatever.
The Austrians have sharks.
I'm not very good at geometry.
Okay, so that's not it. But okay, so one more time, just so that we're clear. I feel like there's some confusion
So-
maybe with the technology and stuff. But so you're with the Raw, and
Yes.
in the band you play
Bass guitar.
Mandolin.
bass
guitar.
bass guitar,
Yes.
bass fucking guitar. Okay,
Yeah. So
yeah.
because there seems to be confusion. It looks like a keyboard, but it makes like synthetic sounds, and then you have to like put 12 strings on it, and it's like little thing that you kind of pluck at your waist. Yeah, it's a cool little instrument. But
and
yeah, I got to try it out, and they like, this is awesome. We would love to have a lead triangle solo on the record, and so I went in and played lead triangle, and yeah, rest is history.
I didn't hear any lead triangle in the sample. I guess that's an older recording before you.
Well, I think you're listening for a rhythm triangle. It's a lead triangle. Go back and you'll pick it out.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh.
guess, Victor, that he wasn't on that recording because he broke a string on the triangle.
Got it. When
So-
it flew back at him and hit him in the cojones.
Yeah. And so, all right. So excellent. So that was a very exciting moment for you, obviously, when you picked up Triangle and decided to bring rock into that. What is the difference between a rhythm triangle and a lead triangle?
It's more of like a tone thing.
Tone. Okay.
Yeah, so the rhythm triangle is, we're all familiar with it. It's actually shaped like a triangle,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've seen those.
whereas the lead triangle is actually more of like a zigzag pattern. And it's got like the little wooden ball on the end and like what looks like a cowbell on the other end. You hit it kind of like at the beginning of a Crazy Train.
That's a different instrument. But yeah, so that's the
I don't
lead
actually know what that's
triangle is
called,
what you're
but that's-
saying.
yes.
Is that
Got it.
I didn't realize that. I thought that was a vibraphone. But yeah, no, that's excellent. I'm
Fiber slap. That's it.
Fiber slap, yeah.
Fiber slap.
That's so yeah, which is apparently also a lead triangle. So you guys so you ended up joining the band and as the Vibra slap triangle synthesizer mandolin player, and
Nope, just timpani.
Timpani.
and then Friday, October 20th, you're going to be out in Annapolis playing with KaChunk at KaChunk Records.
Correct.
And hopefully trying to get those timpani in the door. So tell us about a story that's far now.
So I guess I may go where the Raw comes from, the name.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
So now, first of all, you spell it with THA,
correct.
not THE.
Correct.
And so it's the Raw.
Correct.
Not the Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, let's go into that because that's an interesting approach to a name.
So back before it was the band that is today, it was actually a porno grind band based in Toronto.
Okay. What is porno grind?
What is that?
Yeah.
Basically every porno soundtrack you've ever had, but like a little heavier. And we were doing like experimental live performance during the scene sort of thing.
Okay, so that's fascinating.
Yeah, and then one day the lead actor doesn't show up, and they say, "Hey, we need one of you guys to fill in."
Right.
And he went up and then fell, skinned his knee, and it looked all like hamburgery. And he was like, "Man, that looks really raw," and that just kind of became the thing.
That took a different direction than I thought it was going to go. But
I know people always have that same reaction. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so,
I believe that 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
I absolutely believe that.
And why the A instead of the E for THA versus THE for the Raw?
Well, because all the kids these days with their misspellings and autocorrect, we decided it's going to change it to the anyways by the end of this decade. So just get ahead of the times.
I see. So you think
because you know how like autocorrect will slowly learn all of your misspellings. So we figure eventually that's just going to be what autocorrect goes to. So we're future-proofing the band name.
You're trying to basically mess up people's autocorrect on your own, so that then everybody.
Well, no,
will
not mess up, just
wrong.
Anticipate them.
Anticipate it.
Yes.
Oh, all right, that's interesting. Are you going to also anticipate what the next instrument that you play is?
It's always been the Argentinian dulcimer.
That's right. No, that is the thing, right? That's. Victor, he said Argentinian dulcimer. That I remember that.
No,
that was the thing. No, he said that.
I'm googling that right now.
Are you gonna? All right, I dare you to because it's probably a thing.
Argentinian.
Yeah, let's look it up.
Dolphiner.
Yeah, dolphiner.
Dulcimer.
Oh no! Look, that's not even an instrument. It's a type of clitoris.
Did you mean cloud? It's a type of cloud?
No, that's not. No, that's the internet.
It's just a guy with dolphins. How can you do that in show? How does it? Can you bring that into I don't understand how the world works anymore. What happened to the boomerang? Why do these things only happen to me?
So you guys are going to be playing Friday, October 20th at KaChunk Records in Annapolis, Maryland. Is it true that KaChunk Records is the only record company in the nation that actually makes records using those very old credit card machines?
No, not correct.
No, okay.
But they are the ones that don't service them correctly, so it still makes that KaChunk sound, whereas everyone else it's like nice and polished and silent for OSHA reasons.
For OSHA reasons?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
The KaChunk gets very loud.
Oh, yeah. You could probably lose hearing, and then you wouldn't be able to hear you play the dulcimer. The
what now?
The Argentinian dulcimer.
What's that?
The thing that you play in the band.
What band?
You're in the Raw. You said you're in the Raw and you play a dulcimer.
Oh, yeah. I'm absolutely in the Raw.
Yeah. Playing. Okay, great.
What band? Motherfucker.
I don't even know what to do with you anymore, Engineer Adam.
Well, whatever it is, you got about another 20 seconds to do it.
I don't even remember how happy I was that you weren't on the show. I can't recall how free I felt not having to deal with your absolute incessant ridiculousness.
But then now, so it just means for the music track at the end of the hour, I'm just going to loop all the times you guys talked about how much you missed me.
Yeah. But with that said, I have missed you. Thank you for coming in and taking care of all of the promotions for the Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, please, this week, go check out local music. Friday, October 20th, The Raw, absolutely The Raw, definitely The Raw, at KaChunk Records in Annapolis, Maryland. Scott Thorne and the Freedom Road at Vinyl Lounge in Washington, D.C. Rhett Repko at the 8x10 in Baltimore, Maryland. Saturday, October 21st, Vim and Vigor at World of Beer in Ashburn. Please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, and share the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We cannot do this without you. Don't forget to review us on Facebook, iTunes, and Google Play. Thanks to Kevin Evinger, to McNally22, Justin Rogers, Big Metal Records, Alchemical Records, and the ever-present Engineer Adam for all their contributions. Thanks to Victor, and most of all, thanks to the newest member of the Raw, Engineer Adam, who plays dulcimer and cajon and all the other things, for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.